It's an actual conversation where we talk about your challenges with your money. And it's just not money, it's your mindset of money and how we can tweak it.
We are going to laugh. We are going to cry. We are going to bond.
Got a brain fart. Hold on.
Well, welcome to Spotlight Voices. My name is Natalia Nicholson, and I am so excited for the top 100 most powerful Black Women Summit that lies ahead of us in March for International Women's Month. The summit is from the 23rd of March to the 27th of March. It's all day, every day, 5 days, bringing you 20 masterclasses, equaling 100 masterclasses a week. So what we're doing here is we are putting the spotlight. We are putting the spotlight on my co-host, should I say, and also the keynote speakers. So we are kicking off today with the wonderful Michelle Toney. Now, Michelle is one of our Elite Circle members. And what that means, it means that Michelle is going to be hosting the summit with me. And I'm so excited. There are 5 other amazing Black female entrepreneurs that are going to be sitting with me every single day from the 23rd of March to the 27th of March. And we are going to be on a panel. We are going to laugh. We are going to cry. We are going to bond. We are going to introduce all of our speakers, and we're going to bring a vibe and energy like no other. So this summit is not one of those typical virtual summits that just upload content and you come and consume it. You are going to be with a panel of very well accomplished Black female entrepreneurs to really share the experience and journey where you've got access to loads of information. So without further ado, Michelle, please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Natalia. Hi, everyone. My name is Michelle Toney, as she said, and I am the founder of Money Date with Michelle. And Money Date with Michelle is basically something that I decided to do because I needed a guide to help me with my finances, meaning I was in debt and I was doing good for myself, actually. I was doing good for myself. At the time, I was in corporate America. I was a VP at a bank and also teaching on the side as a professor at San Francisco State. And, with that, I was making good money and everything, but suddenly something told me, oh my gosh, I'm in the hole. I'm in the hole in my money. And I was feeling really down. I really didn't want to look at my bank account. It was just like, I didn't really want to be bothered looking at my money because I just did so much debt by going to vacations, eating out with my friends, going to concerts. I was really doing a lot with my money. Again, I was making good, decent money, but it wasn't enough to keep up with the debt and the other loans that I had. So I wanted to find somebody to help me and guide me out. And I did. And when I went through that process, I was like, you know what? I can do this too. I got out of this with feeling great, enlightening. I got to know some of the processes and some of the tools that got me out of this situation to the point that I want to share it with you all, especially Black women as ourselves who, actually are in financial challenges nowadays. I want to make sure that you have the guidance and you become your own hero in getting out of your financial challenges to the point that you are free, you have peacefulness to the point that maybe you can go ahead and share some of the things that I've learned. So that's my journey. And that's the reason why I decided to go ahead and create Money Date with Michelle, because it's an actual conversation where we talk about your challenges with your money. And it's just not money, it's your mindset of money and how we can tweak it and make it seem like you have a better understanding on how to make your money a little bit better and make it last longer to the point, hey, I know what I'm doing with my money. So again, that's the short version of it, but I have lots to share with you all in this 5-day. Okay, it's a 5-day what again? I'm sorry. Just like that.
It's 5 days. I can't believe we're going to be doing it, by the way, Michelle. Imagine that. It's 5 days. We're going to be in
5 days. Yes.
Yeah. Our media partner, Irie Jam FM. If you haven't listened, make sure you tune in. They are kindly donating us our podcast studio. So myself, Michelle, and the other co-hosts will all be in a studio together in New York City. But your story, one of the things that connected me to you, Michelle, is that anybody that knows my story is a lot around money. Within life, where we all go through, a lot of pains and barriers in life. And some of us can be a multiples. Mine definitely was the money. Like I grew up thinking that I was middle class. Like for years, I thought that, you know, my mum and dad provided for us, you know, we went on holidays. I thought we were doing well until one day. And imagine that it was pretty much a week after I went bankrupt myself. And a lot of it's to do with my blueprint. And when I moved back home, I found out that my mum had this big bag of bills as well.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times we carry things from our blueprint. Even the way I started my first business, like thinking that we were middle class, not realizing my mum and dad was financing a lifestyle through credit. And then, you know, going university, graduating. When I did start my own business, I spent money really badly. I didn't have much respect for money, and I hemorrhaged through it to the point that it broke me to my knees.
Yeah.
And I just feel like what you're speaking about is really important. Even now, I am so hot on my children from my own experiences, but I feel like we don't speak open and frankly enough about money and finances and the way that we spend. And in our community as well, I was very much brought up, you know, like if someone, you know, watches their money, they're tight, you know.
Right.
They're frugal. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's just about understanding, you know, what do you need and what do you don't need? You know, we can all choose to. I like buying wine. I make no qualms about that. But in the same way, just like how I like buying a bottle of wine every day, I can also buy stocks and shares. And it's just understanding what you're going to spend your money in, investing in. There's so many facets to it. So I just feel like anyone that's going to come into the summit, it doesn't matter where you are in your business. It really doesn't, whether you've got absolutely no money or you've got wealth. Listening to Michelle's keynote is going to be really powerful. So what I want to do, Michelle, is kind of give you like a bit of a quick fire of a few things. And the first question I want to ask you is, when people hear your name, what do you want them to associate it with?
I want them to associate it as me being their guide to help them with their finances. I want you to say that, you know what, she seems like a person who's very knowledgeable, but at the same time, she's very patient. She's willing to listen and hear my situation, because everybody's situation is different with money. Like you said, you could be broke or you could be wealthy with money, but you're still going to have challenges with money regardless. And I want people to understand that I want to be their guide and make yourself your own hero with your money, because you will, with have that accomplishment and that success. I want you to feel good about what the journey that you've gone through to get to that goal or goals that you're trying to do with money. So when people hear me, I want to be your guide to your financial wealth or goals.
Yeah, I get that. I totally get that. And I love that answer as well. Also, what is the work that you're most proud of right now, would you say?
I would say my work is more on making sure that my current clients are being taken care of with any resources that need. Again, it's all about my clients. I just want to make sure that they are understanding what their situation is and figure out a plan to accomplish that situation and then execute. And when I say execute, I mean timelines, I mean goals, I mean milestones, because if you end up slipping, then you're going to get back to that mindset of I can't do it. I won't be able to do it. And that's kind of where I come as your accountability coach too, as your guide. And with that, I think that what makes it a little easier for people who are struggling in their money situation. In addition to that, Natalia, it's always a mindset. It's not about the money, you lack of it or you have it, or it's just more about your mindset on money. And I think from your story about your situation with your money, I think that's kind of where most people need to understand. Once you make that mind shift, that's where we start. And that's when we start getting to understand money. And again, you be your own hero on your money.
I absolutely love that. And you're right. I've had like such a turbulent relationship with money over the years. And I think that relationship, and it keeps continuing and it keeps evolving. When you hear things like most powerful Black women, like what does that power mean to you?
Oh man, it's a lot. Well, of course, I was raised by Black women to the point that, and friends and also colleagues. So when you are around Black women, you hear different perspectives on their journey. And from their journey and their stories, you can pick to see what resonates with you. And that's kind of how I resonate, basically got to learn as a small person, a child to an adult. Yes, I hung out with my family members, aunts, mother, grandparents, grandmothers. There are a few things that, I understood, but then there are some things I just didn't recognize because of generations. And as you get older and different generations, your beliefs are different. So that's one thing that I do recognize growing up. Their mindset is totally different from my mindset, but at the same time, I'm still learning. I'm still learning to this day from my family. In addition to my colleagues, such as yourself, and my friends. My friends are very diverse. As far as being Black in the Black community, they're still diverse. I'm still learning from them, and of course, they bring in their stories, and I've empathized with their situations, and also some of the things that I didn't know about. I'm getting from them. And it makes me a better person to learn from our Black female community. And it makes me want to share, of course, not specifics, but share some of those stories to other people who might be going through those situations, to let them know, hey, you're not alone. You're not alone. And I think that's a better sisterhood. For even just having a blood sister, having that sisterhood really, really helps me help other people get through their struggles, or just, being a human.
Yeah, I love that. Michelle Obama talks about the kitchen table a lot, and I really resonated with that when she spoke about it. And you've got your table, and you should have a diverse people around that table. You shouldn't be hearing the same opinion from everyone. Because sometimes some people want to be told what they want to hear. That's why sometimes, ladies, if you're listening, if your kitchen table is the same, you want to think about really bringing in more of a diverse kitchen table, because I feel like that's been a big game changer for me.
It has.
I resonate with that. What does ownership look like in your world right now?
Ownership, it's more of me being responsible, just taking charge and trusting myself, in addition to learning, because I think continue to learning really does help me with my ownership, so I can improve or get to the next level. Because I know sometimes, you say to yourself, well, I don't feel like I'm a leader because I'm very, I don't feel like I know a lot, especially depending on a group of people that I do lead, which I do at my job. But it's best to, as a leader, learn from your colleagues, learn from the people that are in your group, because they see that, okay, she is listening to me. She is giving me the table or the space to, share my situation. And then we can go from there in regards to what next steps need to be made. So that's basically kind of hammered with ownership. In regards to money, it's more of just making sure that you trust yourself and you build a life around what you want to do with the money, because money is just a tool. It's not, your lifestyle or your mind. It's just a tool where you want to improve or get to a certain level, which will help you, in your well-being and at peace. So in addition to me learning from other people, that will upgrade my leadership skills like 1,000%. And that's something that I always love to share with people. Learn from other people, and people will see you as a great leader.
Yeah, I love that as well. I love the way how you've honed directly into leadership about ownership, because one of the things this summit is about is ownership. And I feel like because we're not used to owning, there needs to be a shift in mindset. And I know that that's, again, I feel like I'm constantly working on myself. Like I finally gotten to this age and I feel like, okay, I like this version, but I still feel like I've got so much more to learn, even though we've learned from, I call it failing your way to success. But it's really interesting. I love the way how you've connected the ownership to the leadership, because it's true, to own, you're going to have to be a great leader.
You do.
And you're going to have to lead from within, and you're going to have to be able to have humanity and compassion to lead others. So I absolutely love that. Leading from that, what would you say the narrative about Black women, like in terms of the narrative, like what are you committed to changing through your work?
Okay, I got to look at my notes for this one. Hold on.
No problem. It's all right, the editor will go through it all. And you know what? I've changed the question slightly, and I'm sorry. So you might not have that there. It's just all about this question is just like what's the narrative about Black women that you're committed to changing through your work? because on the money subject, I think there's a lot of narratives.
Yeah. Okay, I got that. I don't need my notes for that one. Okay. Yeah. So the narrative that I hear, and I'm sure most African American women know, that with being Black and a woman, we lack a lot of understanding about money in general. Usually the man of the house, either that's your dad, your husband, whomever, is the one that is taking care of the finances. The best thing we probably do, they give it to us, and then we go ahead and spend the household expenses on it, and that's it. In addition to that, it's also known that we are one of the higher spenders in the United States. We love to spend money.
Globally, actually.
Yeah, right. And I understand that, we are one of the highest consumers in regards to just consuming stuff. But that's kind of where I can change the narrative, where I say, okay, yes, we are one of the folks in the family that probably just manage the money, but manage it in a way in the family that is helpful for the family. So if there's kids, manage that money for college. If it's you guys want to, do something different in the house, manage the money and save money for the house. So be that partner for your household, regardless if you have a spouse, and then, of course, have your mom and your dad talk about, just basically being a partner with the money. Now, as individuals, that's kind of where I can help us as an individual with their money on what are your goals? What are your short-term and long-term goals with your money? Because all the expenses or short-term expenses is probably stuff that you can just pay now, but then you're broke 2 or 3 days later. What about future goals? Do you want to retire? Do you want to go on a trip? Do you want to go on that concert that's going to be happening in 3 months? You can start saving for those various situations, and you won't be, lacking money instead of just, spending it right now. And I talk about, which is called instant gratification, to folks, that we can make that mind switch to make it a goal orientated situation. So that's kind of where I want to focus on when it comes to the narratives of Black women and money. And I'm sure there's more that we could talk about. And I love to hear other people's thoughts about it as well.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely looking forward to that. And what do you think Black women deserve more of in rooms, in terms of rooms where decisions are made, and why?
Well, I believe that they have the ability to bring in their experience, and talk about their experience, regardless of people, don't understand. And I think that's kind of where it is, Natalia. Some people just have a lack of understanding, and we as Black women have to be very clear on where we're coming from. So at least it gives the other person an understanding. Okay, I see what they're talking about. Wearing our shoes just for a minute to say, okay, I understand. And that's kind of where the group or whomever can make decisions on certain situations. Yes, we have to be respectful, but at the same time, be mindful and listen to what is being brought to the table, because you may never know. There's something that you have never thought of. You're like, oh, that's a great idea. So I believe, if anything, just try to understand the situation that they're coming from, and hopefully that's something that resonates with you, and you can, pick something from there and make it something very positive and productive for everyone.
Brilliant. I love that. My next question actually is, what is a challenge that you have faced that people would never guess, and how did you move through it?
Oh, I have so many. I don't know which one to tell you. Well, when it comes to money, I have a math degree in statistics. And with me being a Black woman, I'm very, I'm like probably very 1% or probably less. And that's called an outlier in statistics words. And with that, it was accepted in my community because most people knew that I, have a math degree, that I knew about numbers and money, which I do. But that human side came to me and influences that you can buy your own car with a finance. You can go ahead and get your own house with finance. You can go ahead and get credit cards. And I grew up with my father saying, cash carry, just carry cash. You don't have to worry about it. Well, again, I learned my own way and decided to, finance all these different things and got into debt. And with me having that background knowledge with numbers and with money, yeah, I fell in the rabbit hole. Yes, I did. And I felt really embarrassed. And also I felt that it was really, really, I should say, sad because I was in that situation, because I should have known better. But that's kind of where I'm saying I had to really take myself out of that and find somebody to help me. I had to find a guide. I had to find someone to help me get out that hole. And if it wasn't for that person, or actually it was a group of people that helped me, I'd probably still be in that situation, regardless of where I came from and how much money I made and all that. To the point, like I said, going back to your original question, this is why I'm here to help people, for those people who are in that hole, that similar hole like I just described, and help them guide out slowly to figure out, okay, I know what I did wrong, admit it, and then try to hit that goal.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing as well. The whole money thing can be very shameful. That's definitely how I felt. It's a shame and it's not nice. So it's easy to try and just brush it under the carpet. And I think the minute you start taking accountability and say, okay, this is a problem and I need to get help, and you get the right help, life just becomes so much more lighter, because money problems are not a nice problem to have, and they can lead to stress. They can make you sick. I remember all those times of that wrenching in your stomach. It's just not nice. And there is a stigma that goes with it. And I feel like one of the things that we've got to do as Black women is take our power back. It's just to be vulnerable and talk about how we feel and talk about things more. And actually, it's okay to make mistakes. We are not perfect. We all make mistakes. And I think the minute you can say, okay, you know what, that was a mistake, or this is something that I recognize that I need to fix and go and get help, life just turns around. But that shame, I know exactly what you're speaking about. And that's kind of where you, like you said, you seek that. Once you feel it in your gut to the point you're like nauseated, that's the wake up call on when I said, you know what, let me get help. And I'm sure, just like you just said, you had to seek help, and now you're doing great things, Natalia. Well, it's been a long journey, Michelle. It's been a long journey.
It is a journey. And I want to tell, the community, it's not easy. It's not going to be easy. It's a journey. It's a long journey. But once you see where you're going to, that makes it even more important, and it makes you more focused that I'm ready to do this.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, which is a nice segue into my next question, actually. What boundary, standard, or non-negotiable changed everything for you?
Okay, I forgot about that one too. Hold on. Okay, here we go. My non-negotiable goal is creating space where people feel safe, because I know that some things, especially with money, you're, like you said, you kind of feel uncomfortable talking about money. You want to feel safe, seen, and supported. And again, just like you said, you're shameful and you're judged, but that's something that is not allowed. There's no shame and there's no judgment, so that you can really, really transform your relationship with your money. And that's where the guidance and the tools and the processes that I can provide you get you into that. So that's kind of where I feel myself. There are no non-negotiables.
Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so this really is a quick fire round as we wrap up. If a brilliant Black woman is building her platform or her business right now, what is the first move you would tell her to focus on?
People.
I love that.
People. Yes.
I absolutely love that. Okay, what is one strategy you would use that consistently creates results even when motivation is low?
Wait, say that again.
So what is the one strategy you would use that consistently creates results even when motivation is low?
Seek help.
Yeah.
Seek
and you
help.
know what? It sounds so simple, Michelle, but it's not. That's one of the reasons why we put this summit on. I don't know what it is about us Black women. We don't ask for help enough.
Yes.
We are just used to having to figure it out on our own. And we've seen our mums do it, our grandmothers do it. They've seen their parents do it. And I feel like that is something that does not come natural to us. It's just saying, you know what, I need some help. And I think as well, for those of us spread across the Atlantic slave trade, what's happened is we've lost our villages.
Yes.
When I look at my parents who are from Jamaica in the Caribbean, you lived in a village where, you know, one person might cook the food, someone else is in the river washing clothes. Like literally, even at my age, that's where my mum and dad and their parents came from, that environment. Remember my mum used to tell me the mechanic used to pick her up from school, then drop her off to the door. They had a village. And I think because of that, we've had to learn in the West to just have to shut up and put up.
Yeah. And I think too, that was a mentality that was changed after we were settled in, you know, America, to, you know, focus on you to the point that, like you said, we don't need to have anybody to help us. So I think that was a mind shift that basically changed that village mindset to you do it on your own or make it on your own.
Definitely. So as a co-host at the summit, you are also going to be delivering a keynote. What do you want every listener to walk away with having heard you speak at your actual keynote?
Well, hopefully they are there to be excited just for the actual event itself. So I'm hoping for that. But as far as walking away from it, I'm hoping from the discussions that all of us have, and then of course my specific keynote, is to feel a little bit calmer, a little more safer, and less reactive when it comes to their money. Because I know when you get paid on Friday and then you're broke on Monday, you're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I want to, minimize that reaction. Right. I want to minimize that reaction to, you know what? I know that I can do better, and Michelle can help me. Yeah.
I absolutely love that. Love that.
Yeah. And then if there's more information, I can provide you with clear, compassionate steps, practical actions to feel that you can do it, you know, if not now, later, and just not feel overwhelmed, because I know talking about money can be overwhelming with some folks, especially if you're very, very, less knowledgeable than some folks about it. And then if you got 20 minutes to talk to me, you know, at the end, I'm here to talk to you. So hopefully that would be something that the attendees would walk away with.
Yeah. And you are going to have time. So make sure you turn up and make sure you connect, because the energy is going to be wild, especially when you meet the other co-hosts. So, okay, I said quick fire round, but this really is quick fire round now. I just want you to finish my sentences for me. Okay. So, and it's fun. Don't overthink it.
Okay.
This one is fun. My power increases when
My power increases when Oh, I'm sorry. I got a brain fart. Hold on. Okay. Start again. All right, I'm ready.
Let's do it again. So my power increases when I
educate myself. I am currently taking a couple of classes to add on to my Money Date with Michelle. I really, 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 really strongly tell people to educate yourself in money. If it's not me, make it somebody else. Hopefully it's me, but make it somebody else, because there is no reason not to feel like you're lacking education with your money, because it's your money. And to this day, I am taking 2 classes currently, in addition to, of course, teaching at the university. But I believe education is my word on.
Yeah, you know what Malcolm X says: if you want to hide something, put it in a book. We've all got to knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. One belief Black women must release to rise faster is
believe in yourself, and don't take anything from granted. Believe in yourself.
Love it. Absolutely love it. One thing I want Black women to remember about their voice is
make it clear, concise, and straightforward.
Love it. Right. Brilliant way to wrap up, Michelle. Michelle, if people want to find you, where can they find you? Where can they find you, on the internet or on your website?
Sure. So my website is called Money Date with Michelle, and it has most of the basic information that you may need, additional sites where I go ahead and talk about money mindset and the different tools. I'm all in the social media, such as LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, and also Instagram. I do have an email address, but I'm sure that it will be given to you all later on. And and if you want, we can schedule a 20-minute complimentary talk and just go through your situation and then go from there. But I'm here.
Absolutely love it. And do not forget, Michelle is a co-host. We're going to be in a studio live from New York with our media partner, Irie Jam, and we are going to be vibing in that podcast room, and we're going to be streaming to you every single day, 5 days a week, where you will be receiving 20 master classes a day from an array of topics. But Michelle, and having a money date with Michelle is definitely one you need to check out. So without further ado, we are going to check out. Michelle, it was absolutely wonderful having you here today.
Oh, my pleasure.
And just looking forward to it. I'm so looking forward to us being able to hang out for those 5 days and make history. It's International Women's Month, and we are going to make history. So thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.